Oh my lord. Alrighty. Say hello to the people watching the VODs on YouTube. Hi.
Hi, VOD Squad.
Hi, VOD Squad.
Oh,
Just skip over the first,
hello.
like, 30
Don't
minutes.
worry, it's gonna be completely cut.
You don't have to
include it just so we can talk about it.
Yeah, so we can talk about it. Oh my lord! Alrighty.
Like favorite podcasts, like they put all like the outtakes at the end. So if you want to listen,
Oh,
to them,
that could be funny. Yeah, that could be funny. Greenos, would you mind playing funky music if you don't mind? Thank you very much. And who wants to roll a d4?
I don't even have my notes up. Over 20 now. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Dishonor! How dare you?
I'm usually good at this.
Alrighty. Ooh, Mr. Kipper. Very, very interesting.
Also, Bib, you're Bib, not Kip.
You are Bib, yes. Oh yeah, please join Greeny's stream if you haven't done so. And yeah, Mr. Kipper, what happened?
I can't speak words until I rabidify.
That is true. That is true. That is also a real true word.
Did I see my notes? Yeah, I did my notes last time because it was 4 pages. I remember now. My notes was the
Oh my lord.
My notes were the Dark Souls 2 of Dark Souls.
Shut the Okay, dude.
I'm sorry.
Oh my lord.
Oh, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Okay, so what was happening last time? Let me think. Let me read. I hate absolutely that every time it joops right out my butthole, the thoughts in my memory, but that's oh, I'm not looking at the right thing, am I? Why am I from the South? I don't even know which area of the South this is.
I don't know, partner. Why are you?
This is gonna be the voice of the next D&D. This is gonna be my voice, by the way. If I'm not still Kipper for some reason. I remember how it ended.
That's the ending, not the start.
Okay, I know, that's the problem. Okay, I believe we started out... Wait, I got there late! I got there
yeah,
like,
that's right.
halfway through.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right.
Okay,
You're totally right.
I'm gonna pass the baton for half of it, and then I'll do the rest.
Well, you get to choose since
you get to choose.
Pick your partner.
Villa.
All right. So, at the beginning of the last episode of Crenia's Awakening, we had just defeated the lovers, which consisted of Zarjo and his girlfriend situationships monster. What's her name? May?
Yeah.
Mayo. That's the official name.
I think it was like May with an E or something. But anyways, they're dead, and then the people of the Grey District were like, yeah, woohoo, hooray, you saved us from the monster, and no one got hurt except all of you. And we don't do good in crowds, so eventually Rin, in the form of a cat, led us away so she could escort us back to Borealis's manor, because they had just discovered a potential cure for the sickness going around Port Strail. And along the way, Rexmoa would make a request of Rin to do a certain thing, which she didn't end up doing, so I'm not going to talk about it. That's a secret. And she would drop us off over at Borealis's and go back and retrieve Galarian from the Plain Dagger. And then she would ferry him back, and he would arrive to the scene in the midst of all of us getting cured from the sickness that we just had acquired from getting attacked by the May and Zarjo combo. And Taurin ended up going last, and she had a like the most visceral reaction to it. It was easy to cure the rest of us because we had just been infected the most recently. But for Taurin, it had been gestating for a few days, so she had to concentrate on what was important to her, which included someone else might have to help me out here. What were the questions? What does Taurin hold important to her? And
I have them written down.
yeah, and I forgot what the second one was. And hello, Genesis. And so all that
And
climaxes with Quartz
Climax.
rolling a 20 for what ZJ precedented was going to be a very important roll. So we don't quite know the results of that yet, but we know it's a good thing, which is amazing. So Taurin gets cured, but she's exhausted, so she's out for the count for the most part, and the party talks to Rin and Borealis for a little bit, just discussing things about their most recent encounter and also the upcoming Adventures Fair. And then we all went to get some much needed rest because the Crenia crew has not slept in basically a day since meeting up with Zarja the previous day. And so we make our way to the quarters. We pass by, all 12 of the lovely orphans, and we go to our individual rooms. And so Galarian and Taurin are in a room.
They're kissing.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
Can you pick it up from here, Vip?
I
Because
can
I should
totally take it.
I shouldn't be doing the whole thing. You can do the rest.
No,
Yeah,
you're
you got
fine.
it. You
You're
got
fine.
it.
Honestly, I think it's more enjoyable for
It's
everyone
not
when
a
someone
matter
that
of
knows
it being
what they're
fine.
doing.
It's a matter of you're the one who got rolled on.
That's true. So,
You can take over. I think you'll
from
deliver
this-
it nicely.
Hi, I'm Kipper, and this isn't my voice. So basically, what happened after that point, I remember chasing children was one of the things. Yeah. And then as Rexmoa kind of sat down, Rexmoa tried communing with Aurus. I don't think we got to whether he was able to commune with Aurus or not. And Kipper goes into the room. I don't think Kipper even knocked or anything. I mean, Kipper might have knocked. No, Kipper did knock. And then Rexmoa didn't answer. And Kipper was like, I'm going in anyway. Kind of like how a child who's upset goes into their parents' room. And...
Are you awake in there? No response. I'm coming in!
That's pretty much what happened, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And Kipper sees Rexmoa meditating and is just like, okay, I'll just wait until he's done. And then he falls asleep at that point. Did Taurin and Galarian have a conversation at all during this time?
Not yet. That's pretty much what happened before what you're about to describe would happen to Mr. Kipper.
So what happens next is Kipper is thrown back into a dream, as he always is in a most lovely of dream. And let's see, did it start off? It always it started off not in Misspell. It was at the Inventors Fair, and of course Kipper's looking at things, and certain items that should be there are invisible, and he's just knocking invisible things over and pissing people off, and just this is fake, I don't know what's there, there's no consequence here. And I don't remember how, but I think Kipper starts hearing laughing and everything goes black, and then he's back in Mistbell, of course, which is so spectacular. Wow, we're back in Mistbell. Who could have foreseen this? And let's see. I'm just glancing back at my let's see. Dang it. Oh, okay. So it was a giant wave that came over the Inventors Fair, which makes a lot of sense because Portstrail is on the river. It goes back to when Kipper and Fisher were younger, and I specifically... Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry that my brain's drawing a blank. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Kipper is pulled out of the water by Fisher. And, for some reason, Fisher was himself for like a few moments, and then he immediately just... something like comes over his face, and he starts talking weird, and at this point, Kipper's like not thinking in the memory anymore, and now thinking in the moment, and realizing that something is basically using Fisher's image as a puppet, and he's starting to get a little weirded out by it, but he knows that it is whatever speaks to him in his dreams. And the thing in my dreams basically reveals that, oh, everything is not as it should be. It needs to be made as it should be. And then you realize that the 4 orbs that have been staring at Kipper this whole time were 4 giant eyes. And they were the giant eyes of the spider titan Cadsius. Which, like, Kipper's like, well, screw me. And that's pretty much where that ends.
Correct. You are right. But before we go into what would be the morning, Rexmoa was trying to have a communion with Horus, the Titan of the Skies, which was granted by the time, he was meditating. He eventually ended up falling asleep, even in this position, which may be a little uncomfortable, but that gave away that some communication was going to happen. So, Rexmoa, as you feel your mind drift away, you are woken up by the sound of gusts of wind going through. And as you open your eyes, you have already been in this place. You're here once again. It is the realm of the skies where clouds and pretty much sky is all over until, it looks endless as far as the eye can see. The ground is a very thin layer of water, very clean and crystal clear water that reflects the clouds as if it was like a giant mirror, almost giving you the impression of like it being infinite. But of course, you can see also your reflection as well. And as you enter this domain, again, you feel at peace. Obviously, besides your meditation, there's a lingering feeling of like comfort all around you. You are, sitting down on this pose until you see the ripples on the water behind you start to like approach. And once you get there, and once you turn around to see, you would see the large Titan, the air Titan, Horus, standing behind you pretty much. As again, you compared to the Titan are tiny. Of course, now that you've been in the presence of another of these Titans, you can tell that Horus is not the largest one of them. Horus is very large, but you saw that Vithius was definitely larger. So, what are you looking for? What are you looking for with Oris as he approaches you, Rexmoa?
I would stand up and bow my head and say, Titan of the Winds, thank you for granting me an audience. I wanted to seek your insight on, well, what's been happening here in Port Strail.
You feel this almost disorienting, like, wave of thoughts in your mind, and the voice of the Titan echoes inside your head. And he goes, "An audience. We are here to talk. I am glad you are looking for my advice."
This place, Port Strail, it's, well, nothing like any of the other kingdoms in both amazing and terrifying ways. There's been many things here that, well, I have not witnessed in all my time in this land. Well, walking and talking creations who seem to almost be alive. There's this terrible plague besetting the people of this town, and, well, there's been also a new pantheon of sorts sprouting out here. Humanity has seemed to create their own gods, these saints of Port Strail. I've met two of them, Seraphina and Rupert, and, well, they seem to share the same typical type of arrogance I've seen with humans who are normally in power.
Again, the feeling starts as you hear the voice of the Titan in your mind, and it goes, "Time is always changing. People are always evolving. Their beliefs may be different, but they're still all the children of creation." He
It just feels...
oh, no, go ahead.
You can finish. Oh, yeah.
Huh.
It just feels wrong here. No one knows of the Titans. No one knows of you or Ixus or Vithius. No one knows of the legend of Crenia. The waters here, they're murky. The winds, they don't flow within the walls of these cities. Is this truly a part of your natural order?
He goes again. "While worship is different for many, know that our energy is there. Everywhere you look, while it may seem empty and devoid of any life, there's a reason for everything."
Rexmoa dips his head a little bit, just thinking about the words that Oris themselves just shared with him. And Yeah, the next question emerges from his lips. I've met, well, it's hard to describe them really. They call them automatons. It almost feels as if I'm talking to one of your creations, really. But can something created by the hands of mortals such as us really compare to your works? I've talked to them before, a butler and a warrior of some kind. They almost seemed, well, to be like people. They made their own decisions. They think for themselves, but at the same time, they're under their own different type of framework.
You see the Titan kind of look over to the horizon, and the words start appearing again in your mind. It goes, humanity fears what they cannot control. It is only natural that humans created a way to control others. These constructs are not of our creation, but a desperate attempt of humans for dominion over themselves.
I'm sure you know, but a war is beginning to develop in your lands. Your children are starting to begin conflict with one another, and I must admit, there's fear in my heart as well that the people of Port Strail are, well, you said it best. They're trying to expand their own control into this world. This is the first time a human settlement has had any kind of this power. For so long, it's just been the dwarves and the elves, the merfolk, the fae. Humans. Who would have ever thought?
The voice again continues. Times change. War is but another struggle for power and dominance. Unfortunately, we, as the Titans, cannot meddle with such matters. We already change things by giving you our power in our stones.
Do I walk with your blessing? I've always looked to you, Anixis, for wisdom in my times of doubt. And, well, I've been filled with nothing but doubt lately. This place is a puzzle to me. I'm not even sure if there's one to be solved, but I just don't wish there to be any more bloodshed out in the world while we're trying to still piece it together.
You see the Titan now turn over and look down at you, obviously from his incredible size. And you can see that he kind of settles down on the ground to almost get down to your size. Of course, for a humongous creature like that is impossible. But you can tell it's, trying to at least appear not as not menacing. What would be the word? I don't know. Gigantic, titanic next to you. And it goes, every puzzle has a solution, no matter how difficult. Every door has a key. Perhaps the solution is not where you expect. Or perhaps the solution has been staring at you in the eyes. But fear not, my blessing is alive with you. And you feel, Rexmoa, and you can see it actually, how the stone that you have in your brazier, custom-made brazier thing to hold the stone, emits a bright glow as he speaks these words. Do not feel lost or abandoned. While we may not talk much, I am always watching.
And I am grateful. Rexmoa is like digesting this information that he just got. The fact that one of the Titans, the very people that he's worshipped his entire life, is entrusting him to make his own decisions is kind of... It's very overwhelming for him. Especially this late in his life. Well, I will go forth with this wisdom, and I'll do my best to, well, show your determination. And, well, I know that you can't interfere too much, but there's an event that's going to happen tomorrow. And I fear it might be, well, the crescendo of our time here in Port Strail. Is there anything you can share with me to help us make it through?
The Titan looks up again. It stands up once more and looks around again. And he goes, change is sometimes inevitable. And destiny acts in interesting ways. He looks down at you and says, you will face harsh truths, and you will try to understand the meaning of things. But I assure you, everything is happening within reason. I may not speak of it until the time comes.
I'm grateful to be under your care, Oris. Thank you. And Rexmoa will prostrate and put his head like down to the ground, like just touching the surface of this glistening water.
Suddenly you feel the same as you felt when you were starting to, meditate. And as you are fading away from the realm of the Titan, you hear some words that the Titan said to you, but they are muffled as your consciousness is starting to fade over to another place. It seemed like it was trying to tell you something, but you were moved away before you could really understand it. And you as well, Rexmoa, wake up in the room given to you by Lady Borealis. And the first thing that you notice is that obviously you have been sleeping in the floor in your like meditation mat, your meditation post, I should say, not mat because you don't have one. And you also notice that Kipper would be in the same room. He would be like, you know, blankets and pillows on the ground, just kind of asleep there.
What time of the day is it?
This would be like late in the not late, but in the afternoon. Remember that you guys fought the lovers until sunrise, and then you went and did the whole curing thing. For the sake of respecting the long rest rules, I would say it's gonna be around like 3 p.m. ish.
Okay. How asleep is Kipper on the floor?
Well, Kipper...
Rexmoa sees him and is like, what are you doing, lad?
Well, Kipper, at this moment, you would also wake up again, cold sweat, as you've had a very interesting dream yourself.
Am I in the wrong room? Wait, no, that can't be. Because I look at my feet and I see the little circle. Are you in the wrong room?
So
why are you on the floor?
As Kipper wakes up, he kind of wakes up coughing, and he's coughing smoke.
Rexmoa will approach him and start like patting him on the back. And I think he's definitely a little bit confused. He's just wondering, like, are my eyes working? Lad, what in the world has happened?
Oh.
Did you steal my pipe?
I thought it was fog, Rex. I thought this whole time I thought it was fog.
You're gonna have to explain, lad. I don't quite understand.
The fog that I thought that I saw in my dreams, it never crossed my mind that it could have been smoke.
What are these? What are these dreams you're talking about? He's never talked about them with anyone else, right? Just making sure.
I don't think
I've only mentioned it to you, Rexmoa, but I haven't mentioned all of the details.
Oh, okay.
I usually just tell you that I was back in Mistbell and something was trying to talk to me, but I've never mentioned other things.
Okay, thank you. Is this like the dream you've had before? You know, you, Mistbell, your brother, your family?
Just hearing that, Kipper just kind of curls up in a ball.
Hey, let's get you off the floor, and then I'll try to like pick him up, like maybe just like help him stand, depending on how heavy Kipper is, and like just try to like get him to sit on the bed at the very least.
As Rexmoa, you lean down to try and pick me up. Kipper's just kind of... He's gonna, like, lean his head into your chest and kind of, like... I don't know, like, hold on to your arm cuff. I'm realizing that you don't have sleeves.
I'm not wearing a shirt right now.
Yeah, he's not wearing a
You're
shirt.
not wearing a shirt right now?
No.
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
continuation because my shirt had been torn from fighting, and
okay.
I gave it to the robot butler to clean or dispose of. But anyways.
Well, I forgot about that, but I don't think it matters. We're in the bathhouse together.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll try to prop you up and put you on the bed so you can like sit down or lay down. It's like, should I get Borealis? Maybe she has some insight into this. She did cure us of that
Don't
plague earlier.
I don't need anything right now, Rex. Could you just sit with me for a moment? I just feel like I want to talk.
Okay, lad. And I think before sitting down, he'll like rifle through his stuff and he'll get like his little water skin to share with Kipper. Are you coughing up smoke?
It seems so, I guess.
So, well, first things first, tell me about this dream.
Well, it was in Mistbell again, and of course it involved Fisher again, and it's always ominous for orbs. Kipper kind of breaks for a moment and looks at Rexmoa. He's kind of going in and out of different thoughts.
It's all right, lad. Take all the time you need. And Rexmoa will just like pat him on the shoulder.
I didn't want Zacho to die.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I really thought that I could save someone this time. Why does it never seem to work?
This is not your fault, lad. Zarjo made his choice. He knew what he was doing. And, well, we made our choice. Think about it this way. By us stopping Zarjo and May, we saved everyone else in the Grey District. How can you call that a failure?
Zarjo died, Boris died. I wasn't able to heal Taurin this entire time. She almost died. I wasn't able to help Roy. I wasn't able to help.
Lad, do you hear yourself? Do you think you're some kind of lord or noble? You want to just put the entire world on your shoulders and just beat yourself up when you find you can't carry it. You're just a kid. You shouldn't have to worry about all of this. I know, you want to do good in the world. I think that's great. I think that's amazing. But this, you don't have to hurt yourself over it.
But I do. I really do. There's everything that I have sacrificed before I met you has not reached any point of culmination. I don't know what my purpose is. If I can't lose you to the fading, Rexmoa. And I don't see a way past it. And this thing in my head doesn't seem to probably care. But I will make it care.
Rexmoa is definitely confused by that last bit. Like if he had an eyebrow, it would be raised in concern for what's going on with Kipper. This thing in your head, lad? And he pokes Kipper in the head a couple of times.
I haven't been honest with everyone from the start.
I've been there.
I think that you've probably realized this at some point. How I don't have a deity.
Well, neither does anyone else around here in Portstrail, but I've learned to, well, accept that. The Titans don't demand that their children worship them.
But do you know the one clause of being a cleric?
Yeah, Rexmoa, he rests his head on his hands, and he's like, well, now that you mention it, I do. And now that you mention it, I haven't really given too much thought about this magic stuff. I kind of just thought it just happens. And then he stares at Kipper.
I've always just called what I have fool's gold, I guess. An approximation of what being a cleric would be. I never really had any talent in the arcane anything, and when I tried to learn, it didn't really work, and I lost Loriope, and it was dumb because it was treatable. It was something that could have been paid, but of course we didn't have the money to pay for anything. And she died, and that's around when I spoke to it. The thing in the fog. I'd been out of it for a week or so, and this started as trying to see if I could get her back, and the beginning of this adventure obviously shows that I don't think there's any viable way of bringing someone back without something horrifying happening, and so I changed it to keeping everyone alive if possible. But my powers have been changing as of late. I don't necessarily know to what.
The thing in the fog. The fog that was smoke.
Yeah.
Lad, are you telling me what I think you're telling me?
Kipper, I guess, kind of looks into Rexmoa's eyes and, like, I guess he just reaches out to hold his hand. You can kind of see in Kipper's face he's breaking a little bit. It had to be one of us, didn't it? It couldn't have been Taurin. Everything is all out there with her. She's too innocent for that, as much as she'd like to believe she isn't. It makes sense that this is my burden to bear. I just would have hoped it would have been... I was really hoping it would have been Ixis.
So, you were searching for someone, anyone, to, well, give you what you wanted in your sister's life, Loriope.
Well, I've always been easy to swindle, it seems. But I'm just so tired, Rexmoa. Is it okay if we just stay here a bit longer?
Rexmoa, like, looks out the open window and tries to think about his recent exchange with Warris. Just his words about, well, fate and destiny and the unexpected. And, well, if anything meets those criteria, it's certainly this. Yeah, lad, we can stay here as long as you need to. Just tell me everything, okay?
Okay. I can do that. Before we keep going, is there anything anyone else
I
wants
was
to do?
literally just about to ask.
That's the perfect, like, end chapter.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, if you guys are going to, like, well, what are you going to tell him, Kipper, specifically? Just give me, like, a summary, so, like, we understand what is going to be talked as things happen around.
Yeah, gives me time to think about it, too.
Okay. Oh, so do I think about it now or just give a summary?
No, for nothing,
Yeah,
just get a
speak it.
summary, yeah.
Yeah, just speak out of character.
Okay. So out of... I don't know if I want to do it out of character.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you gonna tell Rexmoa? Like, because obviously you have a lot of stuff to tell him, you know.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff is
so I'll speak out of character saying what.
right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
just like the
Okay.
basic premise of what you want to communicate.
exactly.
So I feel like a large amount of it was spoken, but I think to summarize, Kipper would go over. Well, I think first Kipper would say, "Do you promise you won't hate me after everything I've said?"
I promise, lad.
I know you're not necessarily fond of, magic users or whatever, and
Makes me cringes a little bit. Like, oh my god.
I didn't... This definitely wasn't my intention, and it seems that it's turning it into that, so... So Kipper kind of goes over everything about his childhood, everything about how he grew up with Fisher, how when Laripe needed treatment, the way that Fisher betrayed them, and then how the thing in the fog spoke to him, and he tells him about every single time that it appeared to him, and kind of just starts breaking down, saying how he wishes he had told him sooner, but he was afraid of the repercussions of it, and he just didn't want to lose his new family. And even though Rexmoa said he would like to hear more about this stuff, last time he mentioned a dream, he just didn't want to lose the only father figure that he's known. But kind of at this point, it's a little too late for that. And so Kipper just says at this point that he plainly says it out loud. It seems that he has been chosen by Catsius. And it had always been Fisher that was meant to be the one that saves everyone. and that Kipper was always meant to be the one that destroys everything. Something that Kipper has an inability to come to terms with. But
Okay, we could pick up this conversation if anyone else wants to do their little vignette.
Yeah, exactly. So, for the rest, obviously, Taurin, you would wake up in your room. You would feel much better. You don't you don't have the usual like grogginess and like the feeling of like tiredness that you usually have when the infection was happening. You feel normal this time, and for that, like, your debuffs are completely gone, by the way. And you wake up, obviously, in one of the rooms that was given to you, and you see in a corner of the room, sitting on one of the chairs available in this fancier room, you would see Galarian. He's just kind of sitting there waiting. And noticing that you wake up, he just stands up immediately. And, you know, walks over. No, it is the evening.
No?
It is, as I said, it's around 3 p.m. Because remember, you guys fought the previous enemy until sunrise.
That was a little bit of acting. I was trying to have her like, oh, is it morning?
Oh, got it. Sorry.
That's what I
That
was
was my bad.
as. You're good though.
So yeah, as Galarian just kind of wakes up and not wakes up. Sorry, he stands up and walks over to you, and he goes, "Are you feeling all right now? No side effects? The lady of the house asked me to ask you if there were any side effects."
She'll kind of sit up in the bed, kind of do a little stretch, you know, kind of like, yeah. Don't feel really strange. I feel kind of good. She'll say, and she kind of like, you know, flex her hands in front of her and just kind of like check out her fur patterns, make sure nothing's odd. And she'll look at Galarian. How's my face? Am I blue?
And he smiles, noticing that you're now moving a lot better than what you did before, obviously when you were sick. And he was like, "Oh, no more than the usual, I guess," with a little laugh.
Thought I had to get like some kind of makeup or something eventually, or dye my fur. That's good news.
And he walks over to you and just immediately like hugs you and goes, "I'm so glad you're okay."
And she'll start like her tail starts doing a little flip, and she'll start purring and go, "Oh," and, like hug him back, of course.
The hug lasts for a few seconds. Obviously, like, you can tell that he didn't want to let go, but like he kind of had to. And he goes, "Now that you're cured, I can finally be more at peace and rest easier. There's a lot of things that are gonna be happening soon, and, well, I didn't want this to be one of my worries if anything bad were to happen."
Like not getting the chance to see each other again, kind of worry.
Of course.
No, I understand that. I was worried myself there actually for a while. It's like, would I be able to have that chance? But I'm happy I did. And that we are. So, what's all happened since last we talked? Anything new, or what are your plans?
You've been sleeping a lot. I've just been here waiting. The lady of the house did mention, and you could have been very tired from it. So I decided to not bother you and just let you sleep. So far it's been quiet. nothing really has happened. Besides, of course, the occasional robotic companion walking by a door and asking if you were alright.
Robotic. Oh, Percy?
I guess the tall one.
Tall one. Might be Percy. Okay. Yeah. Friendly little guy. Very helpful.
So it seems. This is all very new to me, but I guess if this is where destiny brings us, I'm going to have to get used to it.
Gotta get used to change. So what happens when you're an adventurer, you know? Yes.
It's all very different from the forests back home. But I'm happy I could share all these moments here with you.
I'm glad we can share them together. So I guess, did anybody else tell you what all happened up to this point, or? I guess.
In terms of, well, what is going on in the world, I'm just expecting my contact to arrive. Probably be here soon.
Oh.
So we will be able to leave. Unfortunately, it is my duty to return to my home place and see about fighting this war that it's advancing rapidly, and well, try to make a change in the people of Galranthier.
Change their minds somehow, some way. Tough feat, that's for sure.
And, well, that does mean that you will not be seeing me for hopefully not too long. I do intend on at least trying to find you again, but I will have to join the efforts of freeing this place from the rule of my, well, now former council members. I don't want to see my kingdom burned to the ground.
Well, it's just a farewell, it's not a goodbye. Nothing's final, right? So, just please travel safe, and to make things easier for communication, I think we should talk to Borealis maybe. She can hook us up with another pair of these little, I don't know what we would call these, little trackers or something? You can call long distance with them, they're really amazing. You put them in your ear and you just start talking.
And he would, like, with a hand, he will inspect, the earring, and he would laugh and say, "Oh, and here, I thought you just got new jewelry. That sounds great."
It's disguising and stylish, so I mean, it's cute, I think. Be a great idea.
I know that, well, the lady of the house is doing some preparations for the fair that is going to happen tomorrow. So we'll see what the future brings for us. I don't know how long I have, but I'm just glad you are okay. And he will just lean closer and just give you a kiss on the forehead.
Taurin just be super happy, of course. A big old smile on her face, like, yay.
So whenever you feel ready, I believe the robot asked me to call him something about clothes and perhaps some food. So if you're feeling alright, I can probably go do that. He gestures over at the door.
The other day, I was filled with a lot of rage. Unhealthy rage, I think. We lost a friend. and we were trying to help him find someone. But then he turned his back on us, and it just filled me with so much anger. It reminded me of my past a little bit, my reason to journey. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I am trying to find my sister, of course, but there's also somebody else from my past that I didn't mention. I'm looking for him too.
You did mention your sister, but I understand. Is that person here, you think?
I don't know. It's been hard to track him down.
Well, whatever it is, I know that you'll see it through. You've already shown yourselves multiple times that you are possibly one of the strongest people I've had the pleasure to meet. And I think that whenever you find this person, you will give them a piece of your mind.
Huh.
I hope you don't mess him up too bad.
No promises. I have to return the favor. Let's just say that much. Maybe this is a discussion maybe for a later time, but it's a little too much for right now. Yeah.
I understand. Then let me go get the robot, and he will, like, scramble back over to exit the room and try and find Percy. Leaving you there, room door closed and everything.
Oh. Taurin just kind of sigh and just kind of look around the room, thinking to herself, should I tell them?
Interesting. Well, as he's gone, Ambrose, anything on your end as you wake up? Well, yeah, when you went to bed, I do remember this. You wake up feeling normal again, rested once more.
Yes, there was two things I wanted to do. One of them is not really important. The other one was that after I had woken up, I will first commit to writing in my journal that I failed to do last night since I was so tired after spending time at my father's grave. So I will do that for a few moments before tending to my sword, as I always do, despite the fact that the sword kind of upkeeps itself nowadays. But the training and the time that I have always spent making sure my sword is pristine and taken care of, I can't really stop from doing still. Process kind of ingrained into me. So most of the time where I am just waking up is spent doing those two things. But after that, I did want to stop by where Taurin's room was to check up on her as well.
Yeah, so like eventually, like, you wake up, you do your morning things, and then you go and you exit your room, and you would see Galarian just kind of like going past. He will give you a little bow and just continue over looking for Percy. You would see outside, obviously it is evening at this point, fairly early in the evening. But evening nonetheless. You guys slept pretty much all morning. And obviously Taurin's room will be right there.
Seeing that Galarian walked by, you know, I'll nod to him in greeting and then let him aside, and going to Taurin's door, I will just kind of lightly knock on it a couple of times and just kind of say from beyond the door, I don't know if you're awake, but if you are, I just wanted to check up on you.
Ambrose, thank you for coming by. So far I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Hearing that, she responded, I'll kind of like go in, looking a little nervous and feeling a bit out of place almost. But the moment I actually like fully walk in, it's quite obvious by the face on mine. It's like the energy veins that are usually somewhat glowing and almost golden are a little dull and slow. But the moment that I lay eye on you and you are not, you know, on your deathbed,
Right.
they not only return to their original glow, but they pulsate a lot faster. And I will slowly walk in and say, I'm good. Are you, alright?
By the sudden glow, I see that, you know, you're happy to see me too. Awesome.
I'll walk a bit closer and, you know, close enough that about arm's length, and for a moment I'll kind of just almost awkwardly just stare at you, kind of obviously studying your features before I kind of just let out a sigh. I was so worried. I'm not sure I could handle losing you.
Ah. The feeling's mutual, of course, if any of you were in my shoes. Tron will get up from the bed, of course. She's like, well, do you want a handshake or do you want a hug?
Kind of smiling, somewhat of a rarity for me, I will just open up my arms and move a little bit closer. I would prefer to hug you.
A hug it is, then. Bring it in.
And I will wrap my arms tightly around you, just a tad too tightly. And
I go,
there's a slight, almost choking back a sob from me, as after a few moments I will pull away and kind of turn my face and wipe at my eyes for a moment and say again, I really was so worried. I know it's probably harder for Galarian, and he seemed just fine, but I am so happy that you are alright, and I'm thankful you're still here.
Thank you, Ambrose. I'm thankful to be here too. I didn't want to become a big blue goop. What? I don't know. I feel like I was slipping away though. I felt numb almost. It was cold and it's a feeling I can't really put into words. It was scary, that's for sure.
I wonder if that's how May was feeling as well. Maybe it's something with the ooze that affects the mind before fully infects the body.
It was fighting hard. But somehow I was strong enough to overcome it. I have no words for that. I'm not different from anybody else, you know? It was luck. One of my 9 lives, probably. I'll take it to that.
Well, I'm not too sure about the 9 lives thing. Not exactly sure how realistic that is, but I don't think it's just down to luck. I believe that it is because it was you. You are the one who managed to overcome it. And indeed, you had the help of Borealis's cure, but I'm not sure many others would have been able to continue living after what I witnessed in that examination room.
She hesitated for a second. Maybe not my worst foe, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody that I know for sure.
I would have to agree. This plague. Well, I don't think it's just what it seems. Everything we've learned feels like it's the result of something that humans have done. Manufactured, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think anyone deserves that. Not even the people who caused it.
You know, it's not just the humans, I think. It's gotta also be the shadow druids that are here. I mean, we've seen glimpses of them here and there, but they gotta be somewhere, pulling some strings.
Yes.
All I know about them is that they were plotting things. She'll kind of like pause and then look at Ambrose, a little worried.
There's that pretty well-known look of distaste on my face that is pretty normal, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And I will nod and say, I am inclined to agree. There's a lot we don't know.
Yeah. But what if I told you I at least knew they were taking untrained druids?
I will kind of look up at you and raise an eyebrow and say, you did make it seem like your sister was kidnapped when we were speaking with that woman.
I tried to hide her, you know. But they just were too strong. They looked through every nook and cranny that day. They were after the young ones. And if they're here, God knows what they're doing. I hope the gods are watching over them.
I'm sorry. I know thinking about that is harsh. It reminds me of that ledger inside the orphanage. It seemed that they weren't just taking druids. Anyone who was young and capable.
Anybody with magic. We gotta find answers to that. And why, you know? Where are the kids that they took? That's what I worry about the most.
I agree. If there's anything in this world that deserves to be saved, it's the young kids who have barely started. I know when I took my first step in returning to that orphanage, many memories hit, flashbacks that I physically recoiled to. I remembered how the mothers, how Evelyn treated me, how Evelyn treated the other kids. I don't know exactly when she decided to give over the orphanage so willingly to the hags. But I can only imagine how different things would have been if I didn't decide to run when I did. And when I saw the current kids, the ones we saved from that cage within the orphanage, barely moving, those hags nearby, threatening the child's lives with how we acted. It's kind of at this point that I started to kind of ball up my hands into fists, and those energy lines have started to pulse a little bit more erratically, going a bit brighter. was so angry in that moment. So many things circling within me. I just wanted those hags to be done in. And I realized that the Shadow Druids had a play in it. My own adoptive mother, too. Wherever the druids of your village are, we will do what we can to find them, to bring them to light. I just fear whether or not they are the same people.
Right. It's strange, that we all seem to have someone that was close to us who kind of double-crossed us. There was someone before Valerian, that I trusted.
I think you briefly mentioned someone, but it seemed like a bad memory.
Zarjo kind of made me relive that memory, unfortunately. When he betrayed us and turned his back on us. It reminded me back to that day. His name was Dusan, and he tricked us. All of us. I don't know what his motives were behind everything, but I think he led them there. All I know is that he struck me down and he left me with nothing. My sister was gone, and we lost a lot that day. And it's not just the kids. He was after some weird plant, and I don't know what it's for. All I know is that it was really important.
If I may ask this, you said he was your person before Galarian. So you were partners for...
Yeah. We traveled around actually a little bit together. Just for a little bit.
Enough that you thought you understood him, then.
Enough to trust, He introduced me, I don't know if I can mention them. There was another group, we'll say, that I was introduced to. And we kind of joined up to get some money together. So he did all the ties, of course, and getting all secured, but kind of hard to talk about it. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
Assume it was something a bit more under the table.
It was a little dirty, yeah.
I won't fault you for making ends meet. But I do feel for you, for what happened with him. I don't know the name, so I can't help you with the son, but if he ever shows up, you are more than welcome to count on me. And the rest of the group, I'm sure.
That's good to hear, at least. I have someone who won't stab me in the back, for a change, is nice. Maybe if I gather enough courage, I don't know. I might be able to tell more. Maybe all of you need to hear about it, you know? Not just one of you at a time. That too.
I'll kind of glance at the sword that I've hoisted onto my back before walking in. As as always, I take my holstered blade with me everywhere. And I will say, Vithius, when we met her, told us that we should try not to keep secrets, to be open. And after that, I told you all about my mentor, my father. I was still quiet about Evelyn. I was scared to relive those memories, the pain of my childhood and my teenage years. I still am. I still haven't been completely honest with all the things that Evelyn did. I think I made the right decision in telling you all about Viren. And I think Vithius was right that we should be open with one another. But I also don't think we should go too fast. If you only feel comfortable telling one of us, so be it. I won't speak up about this, but I do think Rexmoa and Kipper, they should know too. Perhaps even Galarian at some point, considering he might run into this man.
Right.
But all at our own pace. Don't feel forced to do this. Just because I think you should doesn't mean you should push yourself.
I'll take that into consideration. I'll have to really think about this. It just felt kind of nice to get it off my chest for a change, even though I didn't really explain it too well. Because just so much happened all at once, it seemed.
I know the feeling. When I had initially revealed Viren's problem with his decaying state, I was scared and overwhelmed. I haven't told anyone anything about that for the entire duration of me knowing him. It took a lot to tell you all. But
It's heavy.
yes, the benefit of that was that by telling Kipper and Rexmoa, and Chi, of course, I was able to have your help. I was no longer alone in that. I didn't have to take all of that pain and trauma and keep it in. I was able to rely on you and them. And that's what made the difference for me. And I hope if you reveal what's happening with you to everyone else, we can share it and help you.
And Taurin will kind of nod at Ambrose. Thank you. That helped, actually. More than you know, probably.
I'll smile again and say, I'm glad I'm still kind of new to this whole being friends and family thing.
That's perfectly fine. It's been hard to trust again. That's just the hard part for me, I guess. But I'll work on that.
After being betrayed by someone you trusted, I'm not surprised. Admittedly, I'm surprised you're willing to trust me with this, but I'm glad that you did.
Well, you're an honest, true soul, so... Felt good to confide in you. At least in somebody.
So, as you guys are talking over, pretty much over there, you hear the door again, a little knock, and you see it is Galarian, and of course, Percy. Percy's carrying what looks to be a bundle of clothes. And, Galarian just kind of gives you both of you a nod, and Percy looks at both of you and goes, good evening. Now, I have brought some clothes to replace the ones that we took, courtesy of Lady Borealis, of course, and we can expect you in our dining room if you are hungry. Also, do not forget to relay any side effects to either me or Lady Borealis for further examination. And he just, grabs some of the clothes over there and just sets it in one of the little tables that your room has. And then he gives you a little bow and says, I will go to the rest of the rooms to inform the others. And, he walks off and goes over to the next rooms over.
Thank you, Percy.
Kipper and Rexmoa, are you guys doing anything before Percy comes by with the clothes?
I think at this point, after hearing everything Kipper had to share, Rexmoa would be standing in front of him, just kind of thinking.
Right.
Well, I guess do you have anything more to share, or the major points out of the way?
I think all the points are out of the way. Now we're just left with the emotions.
Okay. Well, I guess the better thing is is there anything you would want to address or get closure on this conversation before we get interrupted? Or we could get interrupted. That's fine.
I would love being interrupted.
Okay, well, I think.
Wait.
Okay, yeah, go. What? Frame the scene. I don't want to take charge.
I
got
my wish. I got my wish. I didn't mean to lie to you about everything. It just got out of hand at a certain point. I know you probably can't help but let this change your view of me, but I just want to make sure that even if it's the last thing I have to do, that I can figure out what's going on with your fading, and if that's okay.
Well, lad, we've been through so much that, well, this is quite the revelation, but I still trust you, and I don't really think this changes that, yes, you're still my family too. Did Kipper mention at all if he wanted to keep this from everyone else? I forgot.
I think so. I can just address it now. Is it? I will mention it today. Are you okay with that? I mean, are you okay with holding on to this information until I find the right time? I don't know how they'll feel with this. I'm hoping they don't feel betrayed. I was honestly expecting you to. So...
You not feel like you can count on them like you can count on me?
I do think I can count on them. I just can't help but catastrophize is all. With how my blood... Yeah.
Well, it's not my business to share. It's, well, your life after all. But I will say, I think you would feel much better if you were to, well, be as forward with everyone else as you were forward with me. At this point, you can interrupt whenever, ZJ.
Yeah, as I said, you can you guys hear like the door knocking, and Percy opens the door, and you know he excuses himself and gives you the clothes. It puts another bundle over there and tells you that food is gonna be served very soon, so head over to the dining hall.
I approach Percy, and Rexmoa looks him. Does he have like an approximation of eyes? He has like an approximation of a face.
It's more like a plate on his face that kind of has the signs of a face, but there are no really any features on his face. Okay.
Rexmoa puts both his hands on his robo shoulders and looks to where his face would be. He says, Mercer, I've realized now that you are just as much of a victim in all of this as we are. Just another pawn in the human struggle for power. I thank you. And I just want you to know that I wish to relieve you from this fate if possible.
You hear Percy kind of tilts his head a little bit at what you're speaking, and then moves his head over to like inspect like one of your eyes, and it says, possible side effects may include increasing amounts of blabbering about nothing. Lady Borealis may want to know this. please do let me know if there are more symptoms that I need to tell our lady.
Yes, you're right. This is important. You should tell her. Don't worry. I'll tell her too, but you can tell her first.
And he goes, good. Then, we will meet you in the dining hall. And then, you know, he just kind of shimmies out of your grasp and just walks away. You can see him, like, always keeping the good posture, as, you know, he is always, you know, doing.
That poor soul. He doesn't even know. So I'll examine the clothes that he left. What is Borealis's gift to us?
You can see that they're like normal common citizen clothes, but they're not like the ones you may see in the lower city. They're more fancier because obviously she had to get them in the upper city. But other than that, I mean, there is nothing too. I mean, it's like commoner's clothes, but fancier.
Okay. That's just something you slip on, right? You don't have to like button it up or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, Rexmoa would slip on a shirt and throw his robes on, and I'll just look at Kipper and say, well, I'll leave you to get changed, and I'll meet you in the dining hall.
Kipper's kind of already in his clothes.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay.
He slept in his clothes.
Yeah, but new clothes. The new clothes.
Yeah, so like, well, Kipper and Ambrose would have taken, like, their armor would be taken away, because both of you were wearing armor. So do you still have like your normal like clothes under the armor?
I don't sleep in my armor.
Exactly, but I mean, like, you know, your armor was taken to obviously check if there were no samples of contamination, because, you know, there was blood in there, so, you know, just for good measure.
Kipper's like, yeah, I will. I'll catch up to you.
Don't worry, the conversation's not over. You can revisit it as much as you like, but I'll echo my previous sentiment. I do think this is something better discussed in a group. And then I'll walk out the door.
All right.
Dang nabbit.
What happened?
He has to get the final word in always.
Oh.
No, I think that was perfect. You know how my brain works. Thank you. Kipper will get dressed in what he feels like is way too fancy for him.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else, I'm assuming you're all gonna get dressed and eventually head over to the dining hall, correct?
Anime magic girl powers.
Yes, sir.
Assemble. Fancy. Let's go.
All right, so you guys take your time to get dressed. Everybody just reconvenes in the hallway, and then eventually you will go over to the fancier dining hall where you've already been once when the kids were having a breakfast. And yeah, you will find over there that Lady Borealis and Rin are, you know, just kind of getting sitting down, and while the little helpers of Lady Borealis are already taking the, you know, putting the plates on and all the cutlery and all the things to set up for the food. And as you approach the scene, obviously, Borealis would stand up and go, "Oh, hello, good evening. Everybody okay? No side effects? No need for any extra healing? Perhaps any other dose of the antidote? No?"
I feel surprisingly well rested.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Kipper's just going to come out and then just kind of quietly shimmy over to, I guess, behind Rexmoa's shadow. I don't know. He gonna be quiet today.
Okay. Any of you say anything? Any like Rexmoa, sorry, Ambrose or Taurin, anything?
Taurin can walk in, humming a little tune, going.
Is it just us for this dinner?
It would be you, Galarian. The orphans are not there, but I mean, obviously, you know that the orphans are around. She would not have her right there. But yeah, pretty much.
Dishana?
Mm-hmm.
The new set of clothes are very much appreciated, Lady Borealis. Thank you again for everything you've done for us.
Oh, don't worry. It's the least I could do, after injecting you with a serum that would have not worked. So, yeah, I do apologize for that again.
You can say your thing, just like.
I was about to say
about
Rin, but yeah, go ahead. I'll say about Rin.
I was just gonna say, when I walk in, I'll sit down quietly and just kind of like mutter under my breath. Well, feeling a bit emotional after last night, but good otherwise.
And Borealis says, emotional as in like, overly emotional. Perhaps the serum may have affected your nervous system in some sort of way. She's like wondering, giving you like more like medical diagnosis and stuff. And while this is happening, Rin would come over with a leash, and you see Rupert, the large dog. That as soon as he spots you, Rexmoa, he starts trying to run over to you. Rin just kind of lets the leash go, and he goes, "Here you go, old man." And Rupert just kind of like jumps, like leaps at you, and starts like licking your face.
Rupert, this is not a good impression in front of Lady Borealis. But Rexmoa is very clearly very happy to be reunited with his canine companion. I have some unfortunate news to share with you later, but for now we can just enjoy this meal together. Lady Borealis, meet Rupert. I'm sure you might know of another Rupert, but I knew this one first.
And she goes, "Oh, is that the one that you accidentally summoned? Oh, don't worry. I had my fair share of mastiffs when I was adventuring out as well."
I also point towards the chandelier, and there's a bird there. And I also say, "Oh, just so you know, that one's also mine. They don't make a mess, as far as I know."
Oh,
and eat either.
And she goes, "Oh, a familiar. I did not take you. Like the magical type."
Well, it's not magic. It's a gift from the Titan Horus.
Very interesting. I wanted to speak to you about something of that matter, but please have a seat. Let's enjoy our meal first. I don't want to keep you from having a full stomach before I'm going to, talk about more pressing matters. And obviously she gestures over at the seats, and some robots come in and like start like making you opening your chair so you guys could sit down.
Taurin, are you okay? Do you still have a cough? Do we need a second dose for Taurin?
I got a little tickle.
All right, then we can all sit down.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, you guys sit down. You see the food is very nice. You get a bunch of cuts of meats. Some that you may not even have tried, or maybe you have, but just not in this presentation. It is very much like expertly made. This is very fancy food. Kind of reminds you of what you ate in the Elven Kingdoms, but obviously this one has a lot more of meats rather than vegetables. You see like stews, you see like smoked meats, and some other super tender things.
Rexmoa like digs in. He hasn't had a good meal like this in so long.
Hear like a little Taurin noise in her stomach, and she
indeed.
goes, I'm gonna have a little bit of this and this and
A
this. and
little
shut
bit
up,
of this, a
things.
little bit of that.
Kipper's going to be kind of picking at the food a little bit. He's too much thinking to be eating right now.
As you guys are sitting down and like food starts to come in and you start eating, Rin goes back to her chair, but she stands behind it. She crosses her arms and just looks over at the group, and she goes, I'm glad you're doing fine. I don't want you to forget though, there's still stuff to be done. And after the Inventors Fair, the most important thing is finding out what happened to Echoes. Me and Borealis have waited long enough, and Echoes has waited long enough, and I refuse to let him stay that way any longer.
I promised I would figure something out, and I intend to keep that promise. Considering his state, I don't believe he's degrading at this moment. You have kept spectacular care of him. I have a feeling all of this, I don't know, nightmare, abomination creatures, and shadow druids, I have a feeling it's going to lead us to discover at least what the shadow druids have done. It has to be connected. I can't see it not dragging back to that.
Borealis also nods as, she's also getting ready to eat. And she goes, of course, yes, those are some of the pressing matters that I am going to have to talk to you about. Rin interjects once again and goes, 2 years. The way is open now, and I'm gonna go find out. No matter who's behind it, so yeah. And Borealis just kind of gives Rin a little acknowledging nod and just kind of gesture for her to sit down and have the food first. And, meal goes well. You guys are fed very, very nicely. It is an interesting how the contrast of you being an adventurer eating versus, somebody like Borealis who just eats smaller portions and is just kind of very fancy with it, while you guys are just, filling your bellies. You would make a little bit of a mess, but it's like you don't really mind too much. Of course, you're also trying to be like, let's not be rude about it,
Trying our best, but
exactly. But it's like, you guys are hungry and it shows.
We've not eaten for a while, to be fair.
Exactly. You guys have not eaten for a while. And yeah, it definitely
really
shows.
Dangerous activity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we've just been sitting around either.
Taurin would take a couple bites, and she would ask to one of the team, one of the members who's nearest. I forgot who's sitting next to her or closest, but she'd be like,
Any of them, really.
"So, who's Echoes again?"
I was hoping you knew.
Kipper throws a potato very sneakily at the two of them. 2 separate potatoes.
Catches one. Nom 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 nom.
I assume it's like a small little potato and not like a whole
It's
potato.
a small little
It's a whole
potato. It's
potato.
like one of those
Oh.
gourmet potatoes that
Oh.
only gourmet people would eat. It's like purple.
Oh, those little ones.
Gourmet
Can we
people
see
would
that?
eat. That's funny.
Only gourmet people or people who grow them homegrown.
They're delicious.
Fair.
They actually are delicious. I homegrow them because I eat them. because they are purple. There's no other reason.
Good for antioxidants.
Yeah.
What about
Continue.
this Echo's character?
Sorry, that was out of character.
Weren't... Oh, is Rin at the table?
Yeah,
Yes.
they all are.
I can't tell Rexmoa and Taurin without Rin hearing, and then Rin's going to strangle you two.
Well, that's just the consequences of our actions.
Correct.
I don't want to be
whispered it.
involved in that.
It's you don't want to
Kippers.
tell. I
We'll
think
be
we'll,
close together.
I'll remember at some point. I think we'll figure it out.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
It's
they're important.
I'm assuming I'm sitting next to. Am I sitting between Rexmoa and Taurin? Because that would be the easiest scenario.
know,
I mean, sure, if you want to do it, yeah. We didn't set
Okay,
any
it just
seats,
makes me
so
laugh
you
if
know.
It's like Rexmoa, Kipper, Taurin on one side, and then it's Ambrose, and like, where does Galarian fit in this? Like,
I kind of assumed
Uh,
that Galarian was next to Taurin, so
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
do it
yeah.
Like this, I'll just
It's
sit
a
on the
big
other
table.
side of. I'll sit on the
Yeah.
other side of Villa, I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as he said, it's like,
suppose I'll sit next to Rexmoa.
damn, okay.
Yeah, and then it could be like Rin and then Borealis. All right, the table is set.
Yep.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just gonna whisper to you two. Well, that's the family Ren grew up with. So
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Taurin would be like that.
a second potato is thrown at Taurin. Assassin style potato.
Guess that one kind of gets there.
Lady Borealis, have you ever been to the Plain Dagger? I mean, the food over there is nice, but nothing compared to this.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I have. A few times actually. Before I had to take care of all the duties of the noble house, I was sort of an adventurer. She kind of looks at Ring kind of for confirmation almost. But she goes, yeah, something like that.
I'll have to swap stories sometime, maybe. You know, when there's not dire circumstances to be discussing.
Oh, of course. And she goes, I did see my fair share of the lower city myself, some of the great quarters as well. I may be a noble and I may spend most of my times over here, but I definitely have been around.
Yeah. I can't, last time I went to Port's Trail, it was just a tiny little fishing village populated by the humans. It's quite amazing how large it's grown in such a small amount of time.
Yes. Well, now that you mention that, well, once we are all done, we can go back to my study and we can discuss some things. I may have some
that's-
news for all of you.
You know that it hasn't just grown this size overnight, right?
Oh, yes.
Rexmoa?
Galvathier wasn't built in a day, Kipper. I know.
It might be a little more time than you think.
Time does make fools of us all.
Kipper's like contemplating another potato. But he doesn't because that would be hypocritical of him.
Fair.
Wasting food.
All right, I had deflect attacks, so.
you could do
that
that.
Kipper's going to keep throwing potatoes at Rexmoa just because that's
You
a great
could
scenario.
do that.
Please.
Well, Rexmoa would just like catch it between his fingers and then just like eat it.
Yeah.
You'd see like Kipper give like a little smirk and then like immediately look away.
Yeah,
So-
Rexmoa's just happy that Kipper's happy.
That's my dad.
So, as he said, you guys take your time to eat. You know, the conversations are just normal, like, you know, small talk, as every single one of you have a very good meal. Then eventually things, you know, food is finished, and everybody, like the robots, start picking up the plates and blah 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 blah. You know, everything is being cleaned up, and Borealis, of course, shows you over to the study once again. You guys would be taken to the study, as you know the robots are just doing their thing. Of course, Borealis always accompanied by Rin and Percy. And let's see, yeah, that is correct. Oh, your drawing are still there. Perfect. So, yeah, as you guys enter the study, you guys would see that it's not as clean as you would think. Like, there's a little bit more, clutter everywhere. And it's kind of interesting, because like you see a lot of books and some scrolls thrown around the table. And she goes, as you know, as the doors are closed and everything is, you know, good, like everything is like empty for all of you to be there. And she turns around and gives a little clap and goes, "All right. Well, I have some news for all of you. I don't know if they're good news or bad news, but I presume they are bad news." She looks a little, you know, she has like a little apologetic smile, kind of like, you know?
I assume Rin came with us.
Yeah. Rin and Percy are with you.
Is it about Baldur? Has he been causing trouble again? He likes to steal things. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, no. It's not about the kids. Actually, it's better if I show you. And she would walk over to the desk and, you know, go behind it and pull out one of the scrolls, and she opens it and obviously reveals a map of the world. And she gestures everybody to get closer. And she goes, "Well, I was doing some research about a few things, of course, talking about the Titans and the stones, and and obviously our conversation came to mind, and she looks over at you, Rexmoa, and I can't find the city you're from. Where did you say it was?" And she obviously gestures over by the map.
Oh, Seas Marrow, and Rexmoa would walk up to the map, and alright, so I don't know how I could like communicate this, but I'm just looking at the map that we have in our little
I think I have a map over here. Did I have a map? Did I upload a map in here? I think I did. Sorry, I don't know if I did upload a full map in here. Let me check real quick. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, so he would essentially just like, so Portstrail's on like the easternmost side of the Westerlands.
Correct. Let me get the map for everybody to see. Yeah, she opens basically similar map to this. Obviously not as colorful, but you know, shows everything.
Well, you see, Seas Marrow is quite remote. It is quite the expedition to make it over. After all, we're tucked away just about like right here, along the cliffs.
And as you see all the things, as you are inspecting the map, Rexmoa, there is nothing where you're pointing.
Huh. You should get a new map. This one might be a little outdated, Lady Borealis.
I'm afraid not. My friend, I got this map just recently. It was gifted to me by one of the scholars.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Well, I'm sure they can return it to the cartographer that scammed them. It's quite unfortunate. I bet Seasmarrow is really only renowned in scholarly circles. We don't have that much to export aside from our knowledge. So it can't be too much of a surprise.
And she looks over at you again, Rexmoa, this same kind of almost sad smile. And she goes, yeah, well, that's something that I wanted to mention. So, well, you already know my sister, Zephyr, and of course, me. I also have a great collection of books about places and things. And as Rin speaks, she asks, Boreas, do you have an atlas? We can check there, maybe? And she kind of gestures about it, kind of yes. And she goes, well, we've looked at a lot of our books and a lot of the literature, and there is no mention of Seasmarrow nowhere.
Nowhere.
And
Rexmoa almost looks offended by the statement. I mean, I never consider ourselves to be that unimportant. Have you tried scrolling through the archives, maybe? I mean, I know for a fact that the 19th edition of the Atlas, it's definitely there.
And she goes, I'm very sorry, but I've had my robots look everywhere, and there's nothing. I don't want to come out as rude or tell you that you're a liar. Of course, I trust you enough to have you in my manor, and to man this whole operation that we're bringing. But are you sure you're right from, you're saying the truth from where you come from?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that I know where I was born, raised, and studied.
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting a little.
It's understandable. It's understandable. I get it. And I didn't mean to press. That's why I didn't want to talk about it during food. But yes, there may be a problem with that. Well, it's all right. It's all right. Not all of it is bad news. Maybe who knows? Maybe your town, as you said, is a very secretive location. Where people only know about it if they've seen it. Perhaps I am no one to call you a liar. However, statistically, it's a little weird that it doesn't appear to be any sort of information about it. But we can leave this. We can leave this issue aside for a moment.
Can you hold on just one moment?
Oh yes, of course.
How far back does current history lead? What is the most documented? How far back does it go currently? How?
Oh, what can I say? I mean, there's books that are hundreds and hundreds of years old.
I'm looking for an estimate.
I would say probably more than 6, 7, maybe 800, even more. I do know of the existence of people that are much older than that, but I'm not in possession of those kinds of books. I do have ancient history, but not that ancient.
Is there a potential that Seasmarrow isn't written about because it disappeared before current recorded history? And Kipper kind of like turns to look at Rexmoa at around this point.
And Borealis looks a little like, intrigued by what you're saying, and she goes, "Oh, well, that wouldn't make too much sense now, would it? Rexmoa here is living proof that there is a society, a civilization in there."
Magic.
And,
What if could there be some kind of like cloaking spell for books? Like,
And-
how do we know these aren't hexed?
And Rin says, with a frown, she goes, "That shouldn't be possible. The elves record everything." To which Galarian pipes up and he says, "You're right, my lady. We do record everything. History for us is probably about a couple of thousand years old. And, well, I would be lying if I say that I would have heard of that name. Perhaps I thought it was a hamlet that just established itself recently, but the way you describe it, Rexmoa, it seems like it has a lot of history. Yet I don't recall being any."
I know that it has to have been a real place, but I have one last historical question. Do you know when Port Strail was first formed?
That you're asking to who?
I guess to both Galarian and honestly, Galarian has a much longer knowledge of history, but Borealis has lived in Port Strail this whole time. So I'm just trying to figure it out.
And you can see like they both kind of like were about to speak at the same time, but they just kind of like, "Oh, sorry, you go ahead," kind of like noble courtesy between like the two of them. And then eventually, they decide that Borealis is the one that has to speak first, and she goes, well, as far as I'm aware, Port Strail has been a very fruitful society for at least over 1,300 years. I don't know the exact dates, of course. As I said, I only know estimates. Not a lot of story was written in those times, and whatever did, it was only passed around from people to people, so it was hard to get the true story. And Galarian, once Borealis is done, he nods and says, "What my lady here is saying is correct. We do have the written story of when all the kingdoms started in, of course, our archives. That's what we do. And yes, it's been over a century. Sorry, over a millennium ago."
Do you guys not remember what Rexmoa you said at the table? Didn't you say Port Strail was just a humble fishing village back then?
Yeah, last time I visited.
It hasn't been a humble fishing village for a long time, hasn't it?
And Borealis just kind of shakes her head, saying no.
Rexmoa, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't think Sea's Marrow
I don't
exists
think you
anymore.
have to tell me anything at all, lad. I don't think any of you have to tell me anything, as a matter of fact. We don't have to talk about this any further. The Inventors' Fair, it's tomorrow, correct?
I
We have business to
agree,
attend to.
Borealis says, closing the map, and she goes, "I agree." And, yes, I was about to mention something of that matter of importance. Well, as you see, I am, of course, the leader of one of the noble houses, and my attendance is required very early on in the Inventors Fair, so I will be departing with, of course, my personal guard. She gestures over at Rin and Percy. And she goes, unfortunately, I will not be able to keep you in my manor, but I will be able to return you safely to the lower city, and perhaps you could enter the Inventors Fair through the way everybody normally does, through the gates. And who knows, maybe I could, work my noble magic and coerce the higher-ups to give you an indefinite pass to the upper city. After all, even over here in the upper city, some of your heroic deeds have already been mentioned.
I just want to make sure before I speak, does anyone else want to say something? If you have to think about it, that's fine. I just don't want to be the only one talking.
Rexmoa, how old are you?
Well, I'd say that I'm not exactly an appropriate adventuring age. I believe it's been perhaps 60 or so cycles since my hatch. You really kind of stopped keeping track after 50.
So about 60? Okay.
You can kind of see a little bit of Kipper's discomfort after he seemingly struck a nerve. He didn't intend for that. We're talking before we leave for something?
Yeah.
Is this, like, the last?
You're not leaving yet. There's still a little bit more to talk about.
Okay, good.
So we're gonna have to enter with everyone else, it seems. This Adventures Fair, how is it laid out, I suppose?
Oh, it's very simple, really. What usually happens is that a small portion of the upper city is available for the inventors. There's a lot of tents and a lot of tables and a very nice place for everybody to show off their inventions. It is very close to the sea, so you get a beautiful view of the coast. And most of the upper city is closed to avoid anybody else trying to, probably enter where they're not supposed to. And people are directed to this place, the event happens, and then, of course, everybody's taken back to the lower city and the gates are closed once again. I personally do not like this system, but I am very powerless in that kind of decisions, being that it is a tradition of many years already.
It does seem quite prejudiced.
I would agree. But again, maybe I could pull some strings for you. After all, me and the rest of the noble families are going to be, like every year, the judges of the Inventors Fair. So, I will be, by all means, with everybody and the saints included. And, well, as I mentioned, your small fame is already starting to be heard of. So perhaps I could do something about that.
I will kind of give like a somewhat foul look when the saints are brought up, but I will ask. I'm not sure if anything has changed since I have last been here, but Does the Inventors Fair have any rules against my sword and armor?
Oh, that used to be a thing before, but security has increased quite a bit in the years. So now it's a little bit more forgiving in that scenario. You don't have to turn in your weapons. Of course, if you were to use them in public, you would probably be tackled down by probably 4 or 5 of these, and she gestures to the side to Percival. Of course, another design.
Good. Because I'm a bit worried that the fair might be interrupted by things in the sewer. Maybe it's baseless, but I can't help but worry.
I totally understand, and your worries are well founded with what we know about the things in the sewers. However, it is in broad daylight, and it will end at around midday, early evening. Depends on how long we take in judging the inventions and all. I always try to give everybody a fair chance, but of course I'm not the only one judging, so if it was for me, I would take all of those inventors under our lovely wings and just to give them a job. But, as I said, I'm not the only one judging.
What is security like at the Inventors Fair? Is it, well, do the inventors, do they are allowed to bring any detail with them, or is it just the nobles?
Oh, well, the inventors are, of course, the whole city the upper city is open for everybody. It's, of course, a fair for all the people, so expect to see a lot of crowds in there. But other than that, I mean, everybody's allowed to bring everything. Of course, the inventors have to submit their invention prior to the fair, and they would have to transport said invention. And well, the organizers of the inventors fair will give them a space, either a tent or something they would require within, of course, reason, and they would just showcase their inventions. And well, once the showcase, quote unquote, time is done, we, the judges, will come and look at all the inventions and eventually come to a verdict, and we'll see who is the lucky person who gets to, I guess, join us in the upper city.
Did the Saints, do they give their opinions as well?
Oh, of course, they are part of the jury, but, I mean, there are 5 noble houses and there's only 2 saints, and they only count as 1 voter, so we have the upper hand in that one.
That's surprisingly equal.
Yes. I'd like to believe that while I don't agree with a lot of their practices, at least in this one tiny detail, they are fair.
And, well, I'll just be frank. In my question, there is an automata among the employ of the Saints who is quite the fierce fighter. Frankly, I don't know if we could take him on in a fair fight. So I was wondering, since you are an expert in the field, if there's any, perhaps, weaknesses we could exploit? Anything to turn the tide in our favor, if such a thing were to ever occur, of course.
Oh, goodness. I certainly have not seen a model like that one. It looks very new and very elegant. Very well crafted, if I do say so myself. Perhaps I should upgrade a little bit of Percy's frame to, to a more sleek model. But I will say, generally, these automatons are very durable, very strong as well. The fact that they don't feel pain like humans do, make them relentless. I would know. I have one as my guard. And as for weaknesses, I don't know if it's ethical to say. I mean, I am basically telling you how to kill my guard.
Well, we can
Well, no.
change the subject, maybe. Ambrose?
Well, we're not going to hurt someone acquainted with you, at least. Only worry is if it's someone that's trying to do harm. Public of the Port Strand here.
I understand. I will say, while they are very durable, they are not indestructible. So perhaps constant stress and pressure may do something about that. But again, I do not know the assembly of that specific automaton. But I think most of the others should cave in.
These automatons, do they follow a certain rule set? Is it just given to them by their creators?
Well, while there are some rules for common sense, usually the maker is the one who programs these automatons, and of course, while I am a very talented artificer, I am not the one who distributes all the automatons for the city. Those are part of the other noble families.
The one in question, the so-called counselor, J4 something, they did something that was quite unexpected to me. They made a decision when we encountered them to let us go. I frankly didn't think that was possible.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, most automatons are bound by rules, but some of them are given a semblance of what could be considered free will. For example, here with Percy, I do ask him to also take some decisions. I feel like, well, even if it's a synthetic creation, I feel like they should have at least a semblance of freedom. So it would not.
Looks over to Percy.
And she goes, so it would not surprise me that an automaton that has the charge that he does also has some sort of free will as well.
Do you feel free, Percy?
Percy turns over and looks and goes, of course. If I was not free, then I would not enjoy what I do.
Rexmoa strokes his chin and nods his head at this rebuttal.
And Borealis goes, besides, of course, while the ethics of human-like robots is still a topic of discussion that sadly I have to deal with every few reunions with, other savvy minds of this city, I would say that the approach of letting these creations have their own consciousness seems like a good idea. And again, not all of them are just machines bound to a job. Of course, a lot of them are, but that's where the line between ethical and unethical really starts to get a little blurry. Because, of course, if I say that every machine's supposed to, be free, would I give the same freedom to an automatic pulley on a crane than I should give to Percy? Or it's complicated.
Complicated indeed.
And she goes, oh, well, all ethics aside, I have another important bit of information to discuss with you. Well, not discuss, but more like relay onto you. And she goes over and into her desk and just looks at a book. This book looks pretty old, older than the rest that are around. And she goes, well, the whole issue with the stones and the titans brought a lot of interest to me, so I started digging a little bit in my library, and I found this book that has some very interesting information about it. I don't really want to pry too much because, well, the Titans chose all of you for a reason. But, yeah, this book details about something that I've never heard before, which is, well, the stones in itself, their usage and information about them. Like, for example, and she starts ruffling the pages, and she shows, did you know that the stones that you carry are not the actual stone, but there's a protective layer outside of them that is made from a material that is pretty much unbreakable, and inside the real stone is suspended.
I look towards Ambrose and I guess like the stone in the pommel of his sword, and then I touch at my armband, which contains the stone of Oris. Well, I haven't exactly had the opportunity to test the durability of it. If anything, I try to keep it a secret.
Oh, well, according to this book, it can be indestructible, which, for an artifact, let's call it, of this caliber, it makes total sense. I do know other artifacts that are very durable and very important as well. But we're talking about the power of gods here.
To think of it, I have used the pommel of my blade to fight before. Maybe I shouldn't have done that before I learned it was unbreakable.
Rexmoa cringes at that a little bit.
And she goes, oh, it's all right. I'm pretty sure nothing bad would happen if you hit the stone a little bit. But, I was reading more into it, and it details something interesting. It mentions, and she just flips through pages, and as you guys are seeing how the pages flip, you see drawings of each Titan and things like that. And she stops at a page that has a group of people with one hand raised each, and the illustration of 4 stones floating above them. And it says, well, it's very interesting how it says that when the connection with the god has deepened enough, you are able to, well, in short words, you are able to command them. And that is a very, very scary thing to think about, because what if the stone ends up in the wrong hands?
Yeah. Just like how the current stone bearer is for Cassius is working under their cult of fire.
Hmm. You know, we did find another book that mentioned something similar.
Hmm. Really? Was it as old as this one? And she kind of shows the book.
It was older. It was in some mage's shop. It was, the Elven city, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kipper, weren't you the one who read it?
Kipper was, in fact, the one who read it.
Ew. That's some good trivia knowledge.
Mm-hmm,
You may have to knock Kipper out of his daze and maybe repeat what you said. Bip Bip in real life also was thinking too much about what he would say, that he zoned out and didn't hear what just happened.
Kipper, the book, the tome that you read in the Elvish City. Do you remember that, lad?
About them shard bearers.
The book, it was about the elementals, I believe, and their cycle. I can't fully remember everything about it. Can we just assume that the worst part is, in character, I actually can't entirely remember everything that was in the book. Can we just assume that Kipper relays did Kipper relay everything? I thought Kipper
Yeah, I mean,
did.
when that happened, you would have shared it, I'm pretty sure. What are
Yeah.
you saying, ZJ?
No, I said the
Just
yeah,
found
yeah.
new information. I completely forgot about that. Actually, now that I'm thinking back on it, didn't Theodric also mention something about that too?
You know, I think you'd be a fan of this guy, Lady Borealis.
He's definitely mentioned it multiple times.
Now that I think about it, it's kind of peculiar. We haven't seen him at all in Portstrail. What did he say? He has some like business to attend to, finding a friend or something.
It's
whatever.
been a bit. That's when we got on the boat, if I recall.
Oh, another friend of yours? Well, I am always glad to have your friends over as well.
It has
So-
been a concerningly long period of time where we have not seen him.
Yeah.
So he will pop up soon.
Like 2 weeks in game time?
Yeah, so
yes.
the last time we saw him was before the boat.
Correct.
Oh, before the boat. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got on the boat.
We have not
This-
seen him in Portstrail.
Dude,
Yeah,
the
at
berserk
all.
boat.
Exactly. You have not seen him at all in Portstrail. That was before you guys took the boat to it. And yeah, she goes, "Oh, well, that is very interesting. Well, I was just thinking about the things that you mentioned. And well, this book also has some conflicting information about all of this. I wanted to ask you again if you're sure that your end goal is right."
I'm definitely willing to look it over. I've been wondering myself, what we were told generally is that the Titans wake up every now and again, and then they fight and they remake everything, and the process of remaking everything apparently destroys everything, including everyone. So Theodric's, what he would tell us is that we should reform Crenia, which of course is where everything came from, I guess. But I wonder, why did Crenia split in the first place? Did Crenia do so of its own will? Would it just do it again?
Yes. Well, maybe there are some things to consider in this quest of yours. Of course, I don't want to derail your, divine objective, but I would say maybe we can probably talk about this before committing to doing something that may be bad.
No.
You sound like you have an idea.
Well, I definitely have been reading this book. It has piqued my curiosity. And, everything does seem to lead that the restoration of Crenia is what causes the world to end?
You had
Like-
noticed something similar to that last time as well. Well, our goal itself isn't so much Crenia, but rather just stopping things from being destroyed. So either way, our quest is the same. But we do want any information that you can give us about this. The more information we have, the better the decision will be.
Well, as I said, I am not trying to tell you what you're supposed to do, but, well, if I were me, I would look into it a little bit more. Maybe, just maybe, consider that there may be other options. Because, well, as much as I don't want to interfere with something the Titans themselves did, I do live in this world as well, and I would not want it to end.
I think every single person in this room would be in agreement, Lady Borealis.
Even Rin says, so if you all had the stones, potentially you could, and, she like, kind of thinks about it a little bit more.
I'm sure it goes without saying, but we only want what's good for the Titans, the people, Portrail, Galvanthea, Misspell, all of the places here. We are just trying to do good, to right the wrongs committed by the others around us. Though I do wonder, if we had all the stones in our possession, could we not just sit? If our connection to the Titans grow powerful enough, as said in that book, and the other one, could we not just tell them to quiet down?
I
Like a stasis. Interesting.
don't think they would listen to anything we have to say, not in a way that would urge their instincts to do what
I
they
am
want.
unsure about something like the likes of Cadzius, but Vithius, at least. I know she doesn't want to wake up. She causes pain when that happens. She will inevitably destroy that mountaintop. She will destroy the Dwarven city if she fully wakes. And she doesn't want that. That much I'm certain of. So I wonder if I could get strong enough, if that's even a requirement. I'm not sure. what actually connects us to our shards. Whether it's our belief in the Titan, our personality, whatever it is. If we could make that connection strong enough, if I could just put her back to sleep.
I fear long before any of us found the stones that the Titans had already chosen their champions. Lady Borealis, are you able to discover someone's class?
What do you mean by that?
Can you appraise me?
Oh, of course, if you want. You can see, like, she's looking at you a little bit awkwardly, and she goes, I can probably find some of your magic. Why is that?
I would like you to tell everyone the results.
All right. Then, and she moves over closer to you, and she raises both hands, putting it like around your head, not touching it, but like just around it. You see a faint glow coming out of her hands as she starts to, like, you know, detect your magic. And as you are willing to be this, and you can see, like, slowly she's, like, you know, frowning a little bit as she's focusing on the spell. Her eyes are closed, of course. And after a few seconds, you see her, like, finish the spell, and she goes, huh. Well, that's weird. I thought of you as a healer.
Yeah. I thought of myself as that as well. Consider me an illusion.
In a very good illusion of that, as that. I can feel that your powers come from something else. I don't mean to pry too much, but have you done a deal with something bad?
I have good news, Taurin.
Good news?
Ixis is going to choose you.
How do you know that?
I didn't mean to start lying to you guys. In truth, I technically just didn't say anything of my nightmares, of the things that I see, of the things that the thing in my head has told me from time to time.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was gonna ask, have Taurin ask, do you have visions?
Nightmares, more like. Did it never strike you odd that I didn't have an interest in any mythology, theology, religion, anything, as someone of my supposed class?
Because you're a healer. Is that what clerics do?
Even Borealis just kind of shakes her head at what you're saying, Taurin.
Does this... Oh, sorry.
No, you go first.
Okay. Does this have to do with your magics being a bit strange recently? It was like you couldn't evoke it a few days ago.
It partially that, and then it goes further than that. I've always known it was only an approximation. I've always known it wasn't real. I just thought that it would stay and that the contract I made would remain intact.
Contract? What kind of contract?
It's more of an contract of words spoken audibly. Is anything spoken to a wall really a contract? And I guess this means it is. I'm sorry, this kind of doesn't make that much sense. But, I always thought of it as the thing in the fog with 4 orbs, and today I guess I realized it wasn't fog, and it was smoke. And the powers I was given were always meant to turn, and had been chosen for a different purpose.
Kipper?
And Kipper looks directly at Ambrose and like, I really wanted to tell you. I just found out today about this. I just didn't know how to say, hey, I'm not really a cleric, I'm just pretending. But today, Catsius made that clear.
There is kind of a frown on my face, and I stay silent for a period before I will speak up and say, then when we were at Theodric's home, and you awoke rather startled and I told you it was okay, you had one of these nightmares, visions.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, it wasn't that I didn't feel like I could confide in you, it's just you were dealing with so much, and we're all broken, and I know I can help to fix everything in due time, and that's why I got the powers I did, or I thought, and now it makes sense why, despite my efforts to save everyone, it doesn't seem to work.
The energy lines on me are, a bit dull again. They kind of have been dull for the past conversations we've had in general since we walked into the study. But they're rather even more solemn now. And I still have that frown on my face, and I'm staying mostly quiet before I speak up again and say, to me, you are a healer regardless, how many times would I have fallen? Rexmoa, we keep on getting into dangerous situations. It's not going to stop either. And you have been behind us, re-knitting our wounds. You are a healer through and through.
I appreciate your sentiment, but I don't know if you realize how broken I'm currently, how I react to generally any sort of horrifying creature isn't necessarily normal, and I've not really cared about the end of the world. For me, even if it all ended but you four, if everyone here was safe, I don't know I could say I would bat an eye. I think Catsius has known something was wrong with me from the start, and it makes sense that I'm burdened with this now. But regardless of all of this, I will not let a single one of you die.
If you are the true chosen, what exactly was Fisher?
I don't know yet. I don't know why whether the thing in my dreams is something different and deceiving me now. We know I'm relatively easy to trick, but yeah, it will be fine.
It's good that you.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
You go
Just
first.
Taurin was gonna say it's good that you're coming forward about this. You're being honest now, and that's what matters.
I'm sorry that I held on to it for so long. The Catsius thing I just discovered today. The baking the cleric thing. That was the whole time.
Well, we're not all without our secrets, you know? I can't say much, but
as you guys are having your moment, obviously Borealis, Rin, and Percy have been listening to all of this. And she sighs and goes, I am so sorry I have brought all of this distress between all of you. But, for now, I need you to be strong and, wait for whatever the future has in plan for all of you. Now, I'm going to start my preparations for tomorrow's Inventors Fair. And I am going to have Rin take you back to the lower city. You will have enough time to think about things and discuss others. And we will meet again tomorrow in the Inventors Fair. Oh, sorry, all of the talking has distracted me from another thing that I was meaning to say. Rexmoa, you will find relief in knowing that I will deliver all the kids now to Zavir in the Inventors Fair. And she has offered to take them under her control and give her education in the Arcane Academy.
Rexmoa breathes a sigh of relief. Well, at least that's one bit of good news tonight.
And Rin says, you know, if you're chosen, that means you'll get the stone eventually, and then you will choose what to do.
Nothing about my relationship with that thing has been of my own volition. I mean, of course I get to choose to heal people, and I guess it let me heal people for a time, but what it wants, it simply wants. I don't think I can change its mind.
You have to try. Make it want something else. What that
does
is?
fire want other than to burn? Can you tell Ixis to stop running through the valleys? Can you tell Vithius to stop molding the world, or us to stop breathing life through everything? I've tried everything. I will still try, but I'm just saying I'm growing weary now.
You are going at it alone, and you have us. So, together, we'll come up with a plan. We'll think of something.
I appreciate that.
We're gonna say Rexmoa?
Very good, very good, very good. Rexmoa, you see, he just DM'd me something real quick. I want you to give me a sleight of hand check, please. I am going to roll a few perception rolls.
Sleight of hand for all of us?
No, just Rexmoa.
me.
Oh.
Okay.
What are you doing?
That's
Alright.
medium. That's a little better than medium.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Rexmoa, as everybody was talking, you tried to lean closer to the table to grab the atlas. While Borealis and Percy did not notice you, Rin sure did. And Rin says, we're all going through shit. We're all weary. But when you give up is when things end.
Yeah. I can't save my last family, and I can't bring Loriope back. But maybe I can at least bring your echoes back and keep my new family alive.
Why
If
didn't
I... Oh, sorry.
you go ahead.
We always do that pause where we're thinking.
I know. I was like, wait, should I? You say you go though. Go ahead.
Okay. If I start doing something that you guys think I will regret, I give you permission to stop me. I find it hard to think past you guys, and if anyone were to hurt you, I'm not fully sure what comes next.
Very nice, very nice. So, as the talking, pretty much like with Borealis, kind of stops. She excuses herself because she needs to get some stuff ready, and you are left with Rin to take you back to the lower city. And that right there is where we're gonna end the session for this week. We'll see. Things are getting very interesting indeed.
Yeah, we didn't even fight, but everyone's hurting.
Oh yeah.
I've been holding on to that for... What session is this?
Oh jeez, it's been a while.
Oh my god, really? 60?
It's been a while, yeah.
I've been holding on to that for 60 sessions.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's a
Unfortunately-
long time.
I have to go now, so see you guys later. You
It's
guys
okay,
have
yeah.
A good night.
Alright, yeah, we did go on a bit late. Bye, Dishonor.
It's so good, yeah. You have yourself a good one.
Wow.
Goodbye.
Very long session.
Yeah, it's filled with lore.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's say goodbye to the people watching the VODs on the YouTube channel. Goodbye.
Bye,
Good night.
squad. You're gonna have to wait a bit for the
Morning.
next one.
Sorry.
Yes,
Not
sir.
sorry.
Yes, sir.
Dude, ending it.